The three?
Yes, P2B stands a good chance of winning the elections. Whether or not he will win is
So to you, is P2B, that's the person you feel will bring in a new order? Let's actually get that.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay.
Between the top runners, between Atiku, Kwankwaso, P2B, and Tinubu, everybody knows. At least even those who are supporting Atiku and Tinubu, they know that Peter is the best man for this job.
Okay.
He stands a chance to win the elections, but I've looked at Nigeria. For instance, you saw what I wrote about the voter invalidation exercise. Out of 2.87 million Nigerians who registered and Inec rejected their registrations, 50% of that is more than 50% of 50% are coming from two regions, the southeast and the south. And these are votes that would have ordinarily gone to P2B. Then INEC would have changed its rule of business to accommodate those 2.8 million people. Now, what do I mean by rule of business? INEC says, how did they disqualify 2.8 million?
What led to disqualification, yes?
If you had done registration before, double registration, multiple registrations, and then you've lost your PVC, you tried your this thing, you couldn't, and then you come to order for a new PVC. We made the case to INEC. If people have done before and they came back to do again, take off the old registration and retain the new one. INEC says no, that it will take out the new one and retain. And then we said to INEC, if this person still has the old one, he will not present himself
for the new one.
If INEC had done that, 2.8 million Nigerians would have voted, and we know who they would have voted. So you have technically taken away 2.8 million possible votes for P2B. Now, in that all 2.8 million votes, you have also made sure that a good number of those people are from the southeast and from the south.
Particular region of the country.
Also look at the geographical mappings of the INEC offices that are being burnt today.
Okay, that's a very interesting point.
Look at the geographical mappings of the INEC offices that are being burnt today, and you see that there is a deliberate plan by the people who are holding Nigeria down to keep holding Nigeria down. And that is the thing I am looking at. I have look at, okay, did you see the display of the voter register? Did you see the kids? Did you see the several underage voters?
The underage voters, strange names.
As of today, we are sitting in this studio. Has INEC confirmed to you as a journalist that they have cleaned up the voter register? And
they said they are still on the process of cleaning up the register.
To you, with a compromised voter register, the Nigerians will try all they can. But the powers that are holding Nigerians down, and that is what I'm warning. I am sounding an alarm for Nigerians to be at alert. Again, you are talking about beavers. We are using beavers today.
Today, yes.
And I've said that beavers is a wonderful device, but it has several limitations. And one of those limitations, in fact, the most poignant of the limitations of beavers, is that beavers only records number of accredited voters. It does not record the number of attempted accreditations.
Attempts, yes.
And I give you this instance. Take, for instance, a polling unit in, say, faraway Borno State that has 500 registrants in that particular polling unit. And out of 500 possible voters, 400 show up for verification. And then their beavers in Borno was able to verify 350 people, 50 people cast their votes. And a polling unit in, say, Nobi, where we are today, that has 500 voters. And then out of 500 voters, say Nandibaya Putaro, 350 or 300 show up. And then out of the 300 that showed up on the election day, Beavers was not able to accredit up to 100 of them.
Up to 100 or 200.
And then can't you see that is happening? And then if you monitor, I was a polling unit agent of my party in the just concluded Anambra elections.
Okay.
And I know out of the 5 people in my family that came out to vote, including my wife, only myself was able to vote. And what was I able to vote? On the 5th try. Why did they allow me to try for 5 times? Because I was a party agent.
Yes, because of your personality.
I saw old women crying that their INEC issued PVCs. The same INEC issued beavers could not accredit them
on the election
day. So I am telling Nigerians, what if there is a deliberate sabotage of the beavers on the election day? Not about number of people who come. Anybody who comes out in Nairobi to vote, we know who we will vote for. But what if they come out en masse
and they are unable to vote?
And then why do you are quick to dismiss this as conspiracy theory? And I'll say to you, look at what happened during the voter registration exercise. That the Southeast was pulled, and you know how involved I was in the voter registration exercise.
Of course, I remember.
And we were telling people, come out and register. And especially since the emergence of P2B as the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Ndi Igbo came out in mass to register. There was no voter capturing device. The whole of Nnewi North local government had only 2 at some point. And the 2 in Nnewi were servicing Nnewi North and Nnewi South because people in Nnewi South could not deploy because of the insecurity. In the whole of Onitsha North local government, at a point, they had only 1 functional device in Onitsha North local government area. In Oka South local government area, which is the capital city, they had only 2 and then added another 3, which is 5 capturing devices. And I'm saying to these people, how many devices are in Nigeria and how many did you send to the southeast? Because Borno, Yobe, and all those northeastern states that had Boko Haram, they were turning out impressive voter registration numbers.
There was even a situation where we heard registration was done for people outside Nigeria in Niger Republic.
So I am saying, if you have, by the number of deployed machines, technically disenfranchised a region, what do you think these people will do on the election day? And I have made this case to the leadership of the parties involved. I have said, don't walk into this election, and I'm repeating it on your platform, don't walk into this election without an independent audit of Inec systems.